Hi and welcome. My name is Diana. I run All Things Laser Earrings. I love to share tips and tricks on making truly unique earrings, making your life easier making earrings using your laser machine. And while I'm like in the midst of this crazy holiday season, I was just like, I'm going to share a bunch of like tips and tricks of how to make different earrings and how to use different like glues and everything like to make your life easier. And today we're talking about when to use 3M glue and when to use like the Gorilla glue. I love using this Gorilla gel for clear acrylics. It dries completely clear. The only disadvantage that it can have for some people is that it is not an instant glue, but that can work in your advantage in many cases because many of these other glues like Weldon and Starbond, they are instant, and if you've made a mistake, that's it, you're done. It is over. So I like this glue because it does give you a little bit more flexibility. But okay, so I made these really fun disco inspired like New Year's earrings, and I wanted to show you when I use 3M as opposed to when I use my Gorilla Glue. So for the numbers, I chose to use the 3M because when you have like edges like this or little corners, you don't want the glue to be peeping through the sides. And so if you want like a really clear defined line, it is good to use 3M. 3M is something that you apply before you cut your acrylic. So you apply it on your acrylic. It's like comes in sheets. There's also like a cheaper one called Jewel Light nowadays. You put it on your sheet and then you cut your acrylic with it on your sheet. Obviously, it goes on the bottom of your design, so make sure you're putting it on the right side of your sheet. And sometimes you have to account for the slightly extra thickness, so definitely test it out with some circles and stuff, like some little bits on the edge of your acrylic, just to make sure you're cutting through enough, because sometimes if you don't cut through enough, then you have to go in and you have to kind of trim it afterwards, or it like kind of goes all over the place, like it's coming off and whatever. So just test it to make sure that you have enough power to cut through your acrylic and through the 3M sheet. Okay, how do I remove this sheet? Well, honestly, generally I use my like nail just to flip the tip here, and then I come in with my nice tweezers that I love, my original Cricut tweezers, and I take it off, and so you have like this layer. And then this earring, I did not score. Many times I score, but I felt like since we had a contour here to follow, that it wouldn't be so hard to do. So I put it in following the contour, and it's in. It's instant. And is it 100% clear? Not 100%, but as I say with 3M, it is consistently not clear. And then you'll get these little dots everywhere of the glue. So it doesn't look bad, it's just not 100% clear. Put this one in now here. Make sure you're following. It's so much harder to do it when you're like filming because you're kind of in a hurry. Here we go. This one I just took my fingers, ignore me. I like to use the tweezers though to place because it is easier to place with the tweezers. Here, so I have my numbers in, and now I'm going to put in my little disco ball, sparkling disco ball. I like to use Gorilla Gel for this. I just find it's more consistent. It dries 100% clear. And I don't like to mess with anything when it's like reverse engraved. So you have to be very careful with all your CNA glues and the Weldons on mirrored, because many times they eat this gray part, which is the mirrored part of your acrylic. So I find that, once again, this Gorilla Clear Gel works really well with this. It doesn't affect it at all. So I like to put the Gorilla Gel on a piece of paper so I can control how much I'm going to put onto my piece. And I use like these kind of weeding tools to apply it on, like smush it on. Generally, I always say to put it on your element as opposed to the backing, because then you can control how much glue is going on. You put it like a good thin layer. Don't go all the way to the edge, because you don't want it like coming out the sides. And then like, I gotta take off my glasses so I can see properly. Can't see properly with my glasses up close. And then I put it on, here. And now you just have to remember that it is not an instant glue, so you have to be patient. And then I have these small little sparkles I made. And this is also great for the Gorilla Glue. What I do is I literally pick them up with the tweezers. I like dip them in my glue and I put this sparkle on in place. Dip, dip. Sometimes I make sure there's not excess. Put this one in place. Is this one already on? No, it's just standing there, sitting there. Put this one on. And I realize I am missing a sparkle. See if I can see it over here. Not in this second I can't. So I'm just gonna leave this here. Missing a sparkle. I will find it. It's somewhere on my bench. I have a lot of earrings on my bench right now. But this is what I do. And the only thing with Gorilla is that it does take time. We did just have an earthquake, so it does take time. So now really try not to touch it too much for the next half an hour. When I try to move it out of place, I normally use my tweezers and I just move it somewhere out of, especially if I'm continuously working on what I'm working on, move it out of place to let it dry. It needs a good half an hour for it to dry. Yeah, if you have any questions about this whole process, the file is in the comments. Ask me anything in the comments. I'm always here to answer. If you want to join a fun community on Facebook, join me on All Things Laser Earrings. And I also have a monthly file and course club where for like very good price, you get like 10 exclusive files a month and you get access to all my courses to become like a better jewelry maker, learn your machine, and also how to like make your first 100 sales. Been doing this for a long time. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Ask me all questions and happy holidays and happy New Year's.